Hello, good evening, and welcome to the season finale of the Toolmat Racing 2020 Championship from Kyoto 32 with the infamous BMW Sauber F106 in Live for Speed. What a season it's been. We were here since January, 11 months has passed, and we have a very interesting final round to look forward to for a plethora of reasons. Let's have a look where we've been throughout this year. So it started all the way back on the 7th of January with the F1 at AS1R. That was before we were even broadcasting on Sim Broadcasts back then. And we've had so many thrills and spills throughout this long 44 round season. And tonight we bring you the BF1 from K32. Last week, Jan Bukowski raised the Drivers' Championship trophy after a thrilling couple of races with his teammate Gavin Peat, but in the end he was victorious. He currently leads by 97 points. It's quite a small margin considering the number of points that have been on offer throughout the year, but Gavin Peat in P2 there, Nika Pantola P3, Rick Cardle and Jari Katila round out the top 5. Then it's Trespasser, Pekka Koivunen and Joni Katila, Chris McElroy and David Godge top 10. Teemu Soini, Michael Malik, Ayub El Hanouni, Magic, Tom Salmonen, Frankie Cinchetti, Teo Jose, Borgier, Adam Brown, Pedro Picanco, Paulius Petrauskas, Anton Ahlers, Daniel Baller, Jeff and Jacob round out the top 24. Then we've got Walter Lemons in P25, Ronnie Krompus P26, Joshua Vaslander, Bendova, Zdeněk Sagash, Henry Virtanen, Jimmy Virtanen, Kaike Paroppo, Thomas Poulsen, Zdravko Topolniak, Vitatas Lugutskas, Svilen Naidenov, Lucas Italtas, Elder Kadrich, Kevin Golfieri, Prejmek Vadoviarts, Jeremiah Stanella, Luis Vinicius, Renaud Coots, Scattle, Andre Philippe Mota Araujo, Bozidar Velinov, Sergei Ivashkevich, Kital Krorkin, rounding out the top 48 drivers, Robertus Nagavicius, Tom Cinci, Denis Laszlo Kovac, Gustas Pacheta, Patrick Linka, Victor Veloso, Andrew D, Jarno Lehikoinen, Jukka Hedema. Then we've got Marcelo Neva, seems like a while ago since he was driving, Simon Astalkovicius in P59 and Antonio Debelniak round out the top 60. Then it's Derenis Vagam Garage, Tautvidas Pukis, Victor Arapis, Isaac Price, Matthias Pikkarainen, Pauli Peltikangas, Martin Kapau, Yaroslav Donalik, Pedro Paolo, Silvio Vahid Motadi Tavares in P70, João Gabriel Latosa Fortes in P71 and Ashton Champion P72. Lucas Wilson, Mantas Gotautas, Twincam, Duncan Van Dyke, Paulis Dexnis. Then we've got Thomas Salin, Eric Manelius, Laurent Tomfuel, Rokas Palauskas, Remy, Yazan Allotman, Shamoy Samuel, Carderai, Jamie Tressida, Trent Ian Palmer, William Lima, Roby, Ramon Hornos, Ludwig Rid, Artu Viljakainen, Nikolai Ivanov, Guillaume Lamazl, Hassan Talha Unzal, Mihail Velikov, Danilo Ferrer Gomez, Sandro Tanchuria, Eduardo Picanco, Pedro Martinez, Lucas Finco, Beirut, Mikkel Bagan, Benoit Meur, Trent Ian Palmer, Jack Eyre, Kai Puro, Drillian Armitage, Mim Vidas. Then we've got Thilo Falkenberg, Simon De Becker, Benoit Lemery, Emily Hannon, Onno Abar and Pierre Fenny rounding out 115 drivers who've competed in the series throughout the year. In the Teams Championship, Team Rep Racing and Yes Motorsport are the story tonight. They are tied on 6,476 points, and this is something that we couldn't quite believe when we did the maths during the week. But yeah, those two teams are tied, and they are both possible winners of the championship after today's race. World Class Lines are sat there in P3, Race Green Autosports P4, Born to Race in P5, Master Race Car P6, TC Racing in P7, then it's Road Appraiser Racing Team in P8, Team Sidus in P9 and NRT round out the top 10. Energy Virtual Racing are in P11, Global Gaming Racing in P12, Conquest Racing P13, Air Support Racing P14, Gum Garage P15, Ixion P16, Team Bandicoot P17, Savage Sim Sports P18, Oscar Foxtrot P19, the Linux Force P20, RDSR in P21, Piran Moto P22, Nordic Racing Group in P23, No Control Esport Team P24. Nuke Factory P25, BMW P26, Georgia P27, Team America in P28, DK in P29, Teo Motorsports in P30 and Aerotac in P31, with French Street Racing not scoring any points, but they have all competed in the series. 32 teams have competed this year. We thought that we'd read everybody out and read all the teams out in this final round. Qualifying has now started, so I will be able to take you to the track to start this evening's action. We have got rather a long session here, 16 minutes. I mean, it's quite a long track with a huge outlap, so no real surprises that we have a long session. And we have an absolutely packed grid. It's going to be rammed full of drivers. There's an awful lot of them. 39 cars on the track. Among them, some familiar names from the Sim Broadcasts commentary box. I've been left all on my own tonight for the final race, so we are finishing this one as we started at the beginning of the year. I'll be bringing you all the action tonight, and you might hear some familiar voices eventually once they bin it. So, who have we got on the track? Well, I think an easier question would be who haven't we got on the track tonight? Because there are an awful lot of drivers who are out there. Such a long lap here that, yeah, we're going to be waiting a fair while for some times to come into our view. It's been quite a week for BF1 racing in LFS. If anyone missed the BF1 League, the inaugural round, that was on Sunday. That was Master Race Cars BF1 League, broadcast by Sim Broadcasts by Travis Mellinger and Adam Brown. They did a great job for that opening round. You can find the VOD for that on our YouTube channel. And feel free to give it a thumbs up and a subscribe if you wouldn't mind. We're very close to reaching 100 subscribers on our YouTube channel. At which point we get a custom URL, which would be nice. So do the good stuff and check out some more BF1 racing on our YouTube channel. So yeah, a reminder that Team Rock Racing and Yes Motorsports are the topic of the day. They both have a big turnout here, and we're going to be crunching the numbers at the end of both races to work out who will win the championship. We won't be going off air until we have a verdict. It's not like the US election where we'll have to wait 3 months. We will get a result to you tonight, and there we go. We have times coming in. Mega for TRR. He switched from Master Race Car at some point during the season to bolster the ranks of Team Rock Racing. Team Rock Racing have got a heck of a lot of drivers here in this last round. They really are throwing everything at this final effort in the Teams Championship. As Renault Coots sets a blistering provisional pole time, a 1:55.83. Jaban some 2/10 off. Phantom P3 right now, Adam P4, Rick Cardle P5. Our very own Thilo Falkenberg has just set a lap down in P11 at the moment with a 2:05.01. That will probably not be fast enough to qualify if he doesn't improve, because we're using the 107% rule. But yeah, can anyone beat Renault Coots' time? Isaac Price is in the server. I reckon he probably could. Let's see what he can do later in the session. Here is Isaac. He's coming across the line, and it's pole by almost a second. 1:54.88 provisional pole for Yes Motorsports 999 Isaac Price. Look at that margin, 9 hundredths of a second. Sorry, yeah, 95 hundredths of a second. "26 times on the board so far, and an enormous spread of times, as we saw in Sunday's race. It's the fastest car in Live for Speed. It's probably the fastest race car in the world, and unsurprisingly, it's challenging the drivers considerably. But with this race and the 5 BF1 League races that we've got coming up, I'm pretty sure that some of these drivers are going to get better at this car over the next few weeks. At least I hope they are. If not for our sake as viewers, but for theirs. Team Up Racing really have pulled one out of the bag with this. This is going to be, well, anything could happen tonight. We've seen some, let's say, interesting races this year. Some phenomenal, some a little bit messy. Let's hope they can keep it as clean as possible in the Formula 1 car around the fastest track in Live for Speed. I think this track has the highest average speed of any of the tracks in LFS. It is in fact faster than Monza. And every other F1 track on the current calendar. Adam's gone up into P5, Maddie has gone up into P2. Still an enormous margin. I don't know where Isaac finds this time, to be perfectly honest. You don't go a second quicker than everybody else in any car, let alone an F1 car here. It's absolutely incredible. I mean, can anyone else get anywhere near Isaac? That is a stunning lap. He's on a lap, I think. Another lap. He had some dirty air through the sweepers. Yeah, he's at full chat, so this isn't a warm-up lap by any stretch. Let's see if he improves. He's still doing the lap, which means he must think it's half decent. We're running K32, so it's an open config track that has 2 extra right-handers. It is an excellent configuration. It's an excellent alternative to the regular Kyoto GP long, mainly because you don't have to take the final chicane. The chicane off of the oval, which not many people enjoy. It's a place where you can lose and also gain a lot of time through cutting. But here you can see we're going right around another hairpin. So K32 has 2 extra hairpins in it, which is awesome. Here comes Isaac to the final hairpin. He's just got one little chicane to go, and with the traction control in this car, no such problems as he rounds the final corner, and we'll see if he will improve on his already amazing 154.88. Renault Coots has improved in the meantime, but Isaac's just smashed another 2 tenths off his time to open that lead even further. So 6 tenths back to Renault Coots at the moment for Air Support Racing, and the TRR duo over a second off as Gabor sets a decent lap there. So yes, Motorsport 1-2 right now, Gabor half a second off. So advantage, yes, Motorsport thus far in quali. They have 4 drivers inside the top 10, whereas TRR only have 2. But most importantly, 2 of Yes Motorsport's drivers are topping the timesheets right now, which is what they need. Let's Let's see what Gavin Peak can manage. Not sure if he's on a hot lap. Looks pretty committed. It wasn't a very wide line. Gavin currently down in P17 with 36 times on the board. Into the first of the right-handers. Out onto the seldom used part of the oval, especially in this direction. Bit of a lock-up, runs quite wide through the second hairpin. And then out up towards the final hairpin and chicane, and we'll see what Gavin Peak can manage. Gavin, one of the strongest drivers in the championship. He will probably finish P2 overall in the Drivers' Championship, so you'd expect him to improve from P17. Let's see what he manages here. So yeah, he must have been warming up his tyres going onto a lap, so we'll ride with him and see what Gavin Peak can manage on this attempt. His teammate and Drivers' Championship rival Jaban managed a 1 minute 56.03. Gavin is currently 2 seconds off that time, so let's see what he can manage on this lap. Didn't use all of the curb on the runoff, hit the traction control quite hard there, and now into the sweepers. Yeah, again the rear getting a bit loose and already losing a bit of time on the first sector of the lap and onto the second sector. This next corner should be flat out. Let's see if he does it. Yeah, a dab of curb which unsettled the car slightly and it bogged down a little bit, but shouldn't have cost him too much. Into the arena section, he goes down 2 gears and then heavy brakes, off camber and turning into this hairpin. It's really difficult. Fantastic alternate layout, K32. Onto the oval in the wrong direction we go. This time he gets a straight line braking zone, unlike the previous hairpin. Bit deep again, in fact even more wide than he was on his outlap. He's dropped to 18th during this, so let's see how this lap finishes for Gavin Peak. He's only got 4 minutes left, so he's only got time for one more lap. Round the final corner he comes. Gavin Peak needs this to be a good time if TRR are going to win the team's championship today. It's not a good time. P18 still for Gavin Peak. TRR must be getting worried now. Look at Yes Motorsport. They've got 4 drivers in the top 6 and TRR only have 1. Jaban P7. As Isaac finishes another lap but does not improve on that occasion. Six hundredths of a second to Gabor. That is such a huge margin. 39 cars have set a lap. To give you an idea of the span of times, there's currently 16.8 seconds separating Isaac's time from the guy in 39th. And 10 seconds separating Isaac from the times that you'd probably consider to be real attempts at laps. Isaac has his teammate behind him. It's possible that they're going to work together and maybe get some slipstreaming going on here. It's very difficult to follow around K32, especially through these sweepers. So unless the other Yes Motorsport driver there gave Isaac a tow up the home straight, I think he's on an outlap. So yeah, Isaac with one more attempt, he's going to try and smash the times out of the park. He already has, but he's going to try even harder as Pedro goes up into P4 now. That's a good effort from Pedro. Pedro Bacanco, formerly of Road Appraiser, he's joined TRR for their final assault on this team's championship. So Isaac's building up for a lap in this Scuderia Ferrari-inspired Yes Poro livery. Out of the final corner he goes. Let's watch this lap with Isaac Price. Little bit of slide, had to come off the throttle and back on it, so might not be happy with that. He's not got another chance to set a lap here, so he may as well carry on, see what he can make of it. The rear of the car tried to get away from him on the power there, and a bit more grass on the rear left, that's going to push him wide, compromising his line through the second set of right-handers here. Let's see how he fares through that corner. Drops down to 6th, uses all the road, doesn't use the runoff. Stays in 6th, up to 7th briefly, and down to 5th for this right-hander. Tries to use his first gear briefly, has to catch the car as the rear's locked up and he's aborted. 4 seconds left on the clock, it won't be enough. He'll probably give his teammate a tow and then get well out of the way. There's Yaroloco trying to improve from P22 then, and he's run off the track, so that's not going to be an improvement for Yaroloco. And the clock hits 0, so anyone who's on a lap now gets the chance to finish it. But it looks like Team Up Racing at the last minute have done a good job. Jaban has managed to get up to P4, Pedro's still in P5, Maddie is P6. We believe that Upsas is one of the final cars to come round. Upsas, another one of the drivers who you'd expect to do well in the BF1 as he loses the car and aborts before he hits the wall. So Upsas won't improve. But yeah, advantage Yes Motorsport still. It's a front row lockout for Yes Motorsport unless anybody in these dying moments can beat the time. Jaroslav Donalik will be the final car across the line. Oh, and Yaroslav's been tagged by one of the other cars. That's not great to see. On a hot lap, he gets tagged by another driver, so that's the end of his run. So, Jarek Tiller will be the last car to set a time that is respectable and possibly an improvement. He's down in 29th position. He comes across the line, and that concludes the 44 qualifying sessions of the Team Up Racing 2020 Championship, and pole position goes to Yes Motorsports Isaac Price. Then it's Gabor for Yes Motorsports, Renault Coots for Air Support Racing, then a trio of Team Up Racing drivers, Jaban, Pedro and Maddie. Number for Yes Motorsport in P7, Unite in P8. 4 Yes Motorsport drivers in the top 8. Then Phantom and Pekka Koivunen. TC Racing's Adam just outside the top 10 in P11. Texas with a decent qualifying session, out-qualifying a lot of drivers who you probably would have expected to be faster than Texas, I suppose, but a really great effort there from Texas to get him to P12. Rick Cardle, P13, expected maybe a better result for him. Upsas as well, Trespasser, he uses mouse, so tricky to drive the BF1 with a mouse, tricky to drive anything with a mouse really, but the BF1 especially, he manages a top 15, which is good considering. Then it's Jose in P16, Bortz and Frank for Team Up Racing down in P17 and P18, separated by Global Gaming Erotica from the other two teammates. Gavin Peak down in P20. That is not a result I expected for him at all. I'm sure he'll be disappointed that he's not up there with Japan trying to fight for the win. So Mega P21, Yaroloco P22, Bozidar Velenov for World Class Lions P23, Roni for Race Green P24, Chris McElroy, decent attempt there, P25, Redbot in P26, Kid P27, Kig in P28, that's weird, Kid and Kig, P29, Yarik Tiller, then we've got Tila Falkenberg in P30, good job for finishing qualifying, Tilo. I was worried you were going to be joining me in the commentary box. We don't want to give. Yeah, he's very angry in my ear right now. I won't say anymore. Gustas P31, Tautvidas P32, World Class Lions Timu Soini P33, Sabot for Roda Praiser P34, Mim for Global Gaming P35, Yaroslav Donolik P36, MRC Michael Malik in P37, Global Gaming Simjintas P38. Team Up Racing's Rocky 7 Up in P39, and the grid is rounded out by Team Up Racing's Eisenov in P40. Around about 3 minutes to go until the start of race number 1, and a bunch of the drivers are still getting in last-minute practice with their race setups. Ivanov is outside of the 107% time, so it's up to the race director's discretion as to whether he will start. That's the decision of Trespasser and Jonathan Palmer. So we'll see whether we will have 40 starters or just 39. Either way, it's a fantastic number. So provisionally, Ivanov will be allowed to start. So that's good. 40 cars will start this race. Race number 1 here of 2. If you aren't familiar with the format of the Team Up Racing Championship, then where have you been all year? The second race is a fully reverse grid race, which means that will throw all sorts of trouble in the direction of any of the teams who do well in race 1. There are fewer points on offer for race 2, but yeah, it doesn't really help if you've got 40 or 39 BF1s to get past in the meantime. So yeah, what a season it has been. And let's just have a look at those team standings again, because every time I look at this, I am amazed. The points that they've earned throughout the season, 6,500 points apiece, basically, and the number 0 next to that indicates that they are tied after 43 rounds. So yeah, as I said before we went live, we are going to stay around for as long as it takes before so that we can determine who has won the team's championship. They are tied in P1 right now. And we've got about 60 seconds, just under 60 seconds to go before lights out here for round 44. Race 1 coming up very shortly. Here comes the race start then, the start of this epic finale. Isaac Price lines up on pole position with his teammate Gabor right next to him. Gabor also a mouse driver, so that's very impressive to be so close to Isaac's time. I say so close, it was a huge gap, full credit to Isaac, but to be best of the rest with a mouse, very impressive from Gabor. Here come the lights. We are green for race 1 here in the finale of the Team Up Racing 2020 Championship. 40 cars thundering down to turn number 1. What a sight. And already we've got Renault Coots going for an attack on Gabor. Thinks better of it. That's Jaban in the blue and white Team Up Racing livery there. Trying to get past Renault Coots. He needs to get up. Oh, Renault Coots nearly losing it. And he's been collected by a TRR driver. Yes, Motorsport driver. That's Number. There's huge carnage. This could be a restart. Yeah, they have to restart this race. There's cars everywhere. Isaac's going to be gutted if they restart because he's got an absolutely brilliant start. Gabor already massively under pressure by Jaban, and that's Pedro Picanco not running a TRR livery, running one of the Road Appraiser liveries, and he's binned it. That's big. So casualties already on lap 1. Still no word as to whether this is going to be a restart or not, but it's currently yes Motorsport, TRR, TRR. As Maddie's off, so Jaban actually is the only TRR driver inside the top 10 currently. This is terrible for TRR. Yes, Motorsport, we have a red flag, so we are red flagging this session. Whatever that means, I don't know whether we're going to do a full restart, I guess so. Yeah, Isaac must be fuming. Yes, Motorsport must be fuming. They had a nearly perfect start if it wasn't for one of their drivers further down the list getting it a little bit wrong and collecting each other in turn 1. So we'll bring you the restart just as soon as we can. Seeing as we have a couple of minutes here, I figured I'd use the time to plug a few things that we've got coming up in the next few weeks and months. So let's start off by talking a little bit about MRC's e-challenge on the 12th of December. Sign-ups for that are open on the LFS forum. That is an underfueled FOX race, and I'll let their trailer do the talking. So yeah, a great little trailer that for Master Race Cars E-Challenge, a one-off event run by MRC on the New York E-Prix track layout, masterfully crafted, I have to say, by Michael Malik. And you should definitely sign up for that race. It's going to be a good one. It's going to be a race like you've never competed in before. It's the closest thing you're going to get to Formula E in LFS, so why not have a go? There's still places left. It's going to be a great one. Also coming up in a few days' time on Sim Broadcasts, we have round 5 of the New Dimension Racing TBO Challenge. That'll be from Kyoto North in the TBOs, of course. And Kyoto North is an open config track at Kyoto again that uses the infield of the national section and the only part of the oval not used in the regular national section. So it's basically the opposite of national, and it's going to be a fun one. We're expecting a good turnout again for that event, so feel free to sign up on the LFS forum in NDR's subsection for the TBO Challenge, or join us here on Sim Broadcasts on Sunday the 29th of November from 3 o'clock. Then after that we have a week's break before we return to the TBO Challenge on Sunday the 6th of December for round 6, the final round of the main championship of the TBO Trophy, and then on Saturday the 12th of December it's MRC's E-Challenge. So some good things to look forward to on the run-up to the end of the year and the Christmas holidays, if you celebrate Christmas. So yeah, if you want to keep up to date with what we're doing on Sim Broadcasts, then we implore you to follow us on our social media channels. You can follow us on YouTube and Twitch and Facebook and Twitter and all those things. And we'd really appreciate a subscription at the moment for our YouTube channel. We're getting close to that lucky number 100. And we really love a subscription over there. You can catch all of our VODs, all of our streams go up there after the races, and you can watch those from anywhere after the races if you miss them, or if you're competing in them, of course. We are also beginning to highlight our videos, some of our longer streams on Twitch, so if you don't like using YouTube, you can check out the highlights in the video section of our Twitch channel. There's currently highlights up there for the TBO Challenge races as well as the MRC BF1 League. The racing action is set to resume here any minute now, so let's take the action to the track just as soon as all the drivers have readied up. And we'll go again and see whether Isaac Price can get the same brilliant launch that he got last time, and hopefully everybody behind takes it a little bit easier and we end up with a cleaner opening lap and no red flags. Just waiting for road appraisers Sabot to ready up, and this race will be underway once again. A little bit delayed here, 8:30 UTC, and we are about to go racing for race number 1 of round 44, the season finale of the Team Racing's 2020 Championship. Here we go then for take 2 of the start. Hopefully this goes away cleaner than the last one. Isaac Price lines up alongside his teammate Gabor on the front row. Behind it's Renault Coots and Jaban. Here come the lights and we are green once again. Great start for Isaac, and Gabor immediately tucking into the slipstream. Let's see where Renault Coots goes this time. Is he going to go for a move straight away on Gabor? It looks like it. Jaban's right there as well. And Renault Coots with a much better start than last time. Side by side with Gabor. No contact so far. Side by side. This is going to be great for Jaban because neither of those drivers are going to have a slipstream. Look out for Number though. Number's had a great launch. Isaac Price has disappeared in the lead. Jaban on the inside, perfectly placed. And it looks like he's got past Renault Coots. That's a crucial move. Jaban up to P3. Bit of carnage further back, but we will see what happens. Hopefully it's cleaner than last time. Isaac Price is cleared off. Gabor P2. Jaban P3. Great start. Then Renault Coots down to P4. Number P5. Maddie P6. That's good. Unite has Pedro in his mirrors. Pedro side by side with Trespass. Trespass has had an absolutely fantastic start. He's up to P9. P8 now, in fact, as he makes that move around the outside of Pedro out of that corner. Just ahead of him, Unite and Pedro are scrapping, and that's Number as well and Maddie involved. As we head out onto the oval for the first time. Isaac Price already with a commanding lead over Gabor, and let's look and see what Yas Motorsports Unite can do here. He is all over the back of Maddie and is already going for a move around the outside into the second of the hairpins on the oval. Maddie's had to back off because he's been boxed in. Maddie's going to try and go for a counter move. He's going to have to go around the outside. Tries to go around the outside of both of them. Doesn't work, and there's a sea of red cars here. Yes Motorsport with a huge amount of cars in the top 10 here. So yeah, Isaac Price rounds the final corner on lap 1. Then it's Gabor, closely, very, very closely followed by Jaban. I reckon Jaban might have a move on here if he's not unlucky. Let's see what he can manage. The gap's opened up a bit too much there. Renault Coots dropping off the back of Jaban a bit. We've got cars waiting at the end of the pit lane, so there was a lot of carnage apparently at the start of the race as these cars flood out into the stream of drivers behind. That's okay. Yeah, Isaac is absolutely taking leaps, chunks out of everybody else, and Gabor has lost P2. Jaban up to P2. Trespassers in the gravel. That's terrible for his race. A great start, but already having to back out of the gravel on lap 2. That's not ideal. So yeah, Gabor has lost P2. That means that Jaban is perfectly placed then to get a good haul of points from race 1 if he can keep it. He'll be preying on an accident or a mistake from Isaac Price, but I don't know if Isaac Price is the sort of person who makes mistakes. He's not human, so let's see. Gabor has it all to do. He has to get back past Jaban. Unite, he'll want to get past Renault Coots and stay ahead of Maddie. But yeah, Maddie is in a Yes Motorsports sandwich here at the moment. He's got Unite and Number all over him. And Pedro in P8, Roni P9, and Gavin Pete has had a great start. He's up to P10. So with a very average qualifying session, Gavin Pete has made up 10 places on this second restart. Boz has got a little bit of front wing damage on that car. I'm not sure it's going to affect him too much, but he's in P11 at the moment. Redbot P12, then it's Gustas P13, Frank P14 as he gets sent by one of the TC Racing drivers. Not sure who that is. Could have been a lap down, in fact. They could have been getting out of the way or trying to unlap themselves. Isaac comes across the line to complete lap number 2. As he heads on to lap number 3 and sets the fastest lap of the race. Jaban still edging a little bit of a gap over Gabor. Gabor not able to get close enough out of the final corner to make the most of the slipstream down into turn 1, and that's Renault Coots sliding and he's off. So that's given Yes Motorsport yet more points. That's promoted Yes Motorsports Unite to P4, and Renault Coots is now going to be on a recovery drive to get some points. Esport Racing are not in the hunt for the Teams Championship, so he's just in it for himself. He's just here to be the cat amongst the pigeons. But yeah, Maddie up to P6 then. So Maddie, after having not a great start in race 1, ending up in the gravel where he is right now on the lap, in fact, he's had a great start to race 2, and he's got his teammate Pedro right behind him. As we go into that corner, Pedro following quite closely. That's going to be quite risky following that closely into the slipstream. No such trouble for him though. Roni behind in the greenest skin in Live for Speed. Race Green Autosports in P8 right now. As we have Chris McElroy for TC Racing off in the gravel trap. But yeah, Renault Coots then, P12. That's not what he had in mind for this race at all. And that's allowed the Yes Motorsport drivers to basically gang up on Japan now. Uh, it's a little bit grim for TRR this. They've still got Maddie and Pedro there ready to pick up the pieces, and they're actually side by side, the Team Racing teammates. Hope they don't take each other out. Maddie goes down the inside. Now they're just holding each other up, look. This is not what they need. We saw this in the XFG round at Fernbay, where TRR were battling with each other when they needed to just be working together, working out which of them was faster, getting into order. This is about the team's championship. There's money on the line for this, literally. So sort it out, guys, and that trophy could be yours. But if you keep doing that, it won't be, because Roni will be thirsty for any places or any points that he can get his hands on. Kevin Pete then, that is an incredible recovery after qualifying. Clearly didn't have the 1 lap pace that he needed, but P9, so he's gained 11 places since the start, and we're only 3 laps in. On to lap 4 now. He's getting past back markers, in fact. Boz is a little bit further back, but that's our top 10. Redbot just outside the top 10. He's got Renault Coots just got past him, in fact, so Renault back up to P11, and much tighter line through the first part of the S's. As we head on to this short run down to that corner, he's going to be right under the wing of Boz. He goes to the inside. Will Boz yield? Yes, he does. Sensible decision that. You don't want to be side by side through that corner. Turn 9 here at Kyoto 32. Isaac Price is putting in an absolute masterclass here as we head to the second hairpin. And let's just go on board and see the smooth driving of Isaac Price. You're about to witness a masterclass. Every time I watch an onboard with Isaac Price, it's so smooth. He's caressing the car. His inputs are so delicate, so gentle. He's at one with every single car that he drives, and that is the reason he's currently leading the race by a considerable margin. Meanwhile, Gabor has got back past Jaban. That's important. Jaban now in a very much a Yes Motorsport sandwich. But yeah, down to P3 for Japan. This is the closest battle that we have in the top 10, basically, between these two. So Japan will want that place back desperately. Gabor needs to try and ignore his mirrors for a bit, focus ahead, and try and get as much of a gap over that blue and white Team Racing car as he can. And he would have done everything that he can do to secure as many points for Yes Motorsport as he can in race number 1. Race number 1 is where you have to perform in the TRR format. Race 2 is a lottery at the best of times. Luckily there are fewer points on offer, but anyway. Japan doing good work here for TRR, but is it enough? We will find out soon. Unite's still there in P4, number his teammate just behind. Then it's Pedro who's managed to get back past Maddie, or has got past Maddie, in fact, as these two have kind of fallen into some sort of order to try and start taking time out of number. They have to do that. They've got to get past number and maybe even unite before the end of this race if they want to try and neutralise the points battle in the all-important teams championship. Roni has Kevin Pete for company then. Kevin Pete up to P9, as I mentioned before. Frank and Yaroslav Donelik side by side across the line. Frank driving the Team Up Racing orange and yellow car as he moves past and into into P15 for Frank. Yaroslav Donelik driving well in P16. Jaban really needs to find something here. I don't know whether he's having tyre trouble or whatever's happening, but oh, he had a great braking into that second hairpin. Look at that, how much he caught up to the back of Gabor's BF1 there. And the gap's come down significantly, so Jaban's strong in the hairpins. Again, a tighter line for Jaban, and look how close he is as he gets on the power through the chicane. He'll have a little bit of aero drop as he comes out of this final corner, but I think he's close enough to get a slipstream. Let's see what happens here. I think it's just far enough out for Gabor for turn 1. So much wake given off the back of these rear wings. They're so big. And yeah, Jaban can't do anything on that occasion. Let's follow him through the sweepers. The hardest place on the lap to follow another car coming up. But if Gabor keeps missing his apexes into the hairpins like that, then not only is he going to hold himself up, but he's going to hold Jaban up and possibly back them, both of them, into Unite. Meanwhile, behind, Pedro has really caught up to the back of Number. Pedro, someone who's been driving for Road Appraiser for most of the year, but is now driving for Team Up Racing in this round. And yeah, as I mentioned before, following through the sweepers, not really that easy, and he's already lost a chunk of time to Number, which neutralises the gap to his teammate Maddie a little bit. Let's look on board with Pedro right now and see how he attacks this lap. He's following Number into the arena left-hander, the tricky braking zone here. It's off camber corner with a huge curb that you have to slow the BF1 down from nearly 300 kilometers an hour as we head onto the oval once again. Here we go. He takes the lower line, but he's not close enough to get any sort of slipstream effect. So he was so close to the back of Number's rear wing, but because of getting a little bit too close, as he nearly goes into the support pits there and almost hits the end of the pit lane. Not seen that line before, but anyway, got really close to the braking zone and a Number just disappears on the power. That's the difference in speed in these cars. Again, Number wide. Pedro needs a good exit here. Traction control just hampers him, and look at Number, he's disappeared. So yet again, Number hanging on there in P5. Gabor and Jaban basically in exactly the same situation. Jaban will basically just be waiting for a mistake from Gabor. Not much else he can do. It's really, really difficult to overtake. Even though it's the fastest track, it's got the highest downforce corners, and it's super difficult to follow. And the straights just aren't long enough to get. Who's that facing backwards? That was Trespass. Okay, so he's a lap down. That's not a problem, unless he collects his teammate by reversing across the track. He needs to be careful how he rejoins. Okay, that was worrying. I thought one of the top Yes Motorsport cars had crashed out, but that was just Trespasser, giving me a slight fright. Thank you for that. Let's see what Jaban can manage as he heads into the arena. He's got the oval coming up, so this is a perfect opportunity for him. He's a bit deep and a bit late on the power. Yeah, he needed the perfect exit there and he didn't get it. Again, Gabor slightly wide, and Japan just not able to capitalise. Isaac looks completely unfazed. He's got 3 corners now, a gap to Gabor in P2. Japan's still there, but yeah, Unite's kind of on his own. Numbers still under a little bit of pressure from Pedro, and Pedro's definitely being held up now because you can see Maddie is basically the same distance from Pedro as Pedro is from Number. Roni is kind of on his own as well. He's going to have to defend from Renault Coots in a few moments' time, I reckon. Renault recovering after spinning on the second lap or third lap. Gavin Pete down to P10. He's been passed by Renault Coots. Red Bot P11, Gustash P12. Pedro is off. There's been contact with Number at that corner, and Number has dropped down the order such that he's now behind Roni. I cut away from that action just at the wrong time. That's terrible for Team Rock Racing. Also not great for Yes Motorsport, but definitely worse for TRR. It's going out of the window today for that team, the hosts. But it's not over. They've got a couple of horses in this race still. They've got Jaban and Maddie and Gavin Pete, who's come good in when he needed to in P9. So Yes Motorsport down to 4 drivers in the top 10. Team Rock Racing have 3. As we head on to lap 10, 3 laps to go here in race 1. As one of the other Yes Motorsport cars makes way for the leaders. And Japan now with a widening gap to Gabor. Gabor is running away a bit, and Unite isn't going to be close enough really to capitalise on anything that happens ahead. Maddie likewise. Roni's got a little bit of pressure now from Number. In fact, he's been passed by Number, so Number recovering quickly. Already got past Roni. Whether he'll be able to catch Maddie in 3 laps is unlikely, I reckon. Renault Coots then. Here he comes on Roni. This is the hardest part of the track to follow, and you'll see that white car disappear from Roni's rear view because you cannot follow that closely. You have to wait until this point to gain on the car in front because there's a bit of a straight and you can potentially try and move into that corner, which Roni is approaching now. He's through it. So yeah, Renault Coots is going to have to try something else at some other point on the lap if he wants to try and get past the race green car of Roni Krompus. This could be the opportunity that Renault needs because Roni was quite deep out of the first hairpin. Renault's not close enough to make a move, but let's see what he does under the brakes. Yeah, it's a good exit from Renault. 1 hairpin to go and then the straight and a low downforce run out of this final corner. So we'll see if he can make it stick. That's a good exit. Runs over the curb and hits the traction control again. Ronnie's going to pick up a slipstream from this back marker. The back marker, Yes Motorsport car, so that's hampering Renault. The back marker moves out of the way. Ronnie goes through and Renault's nowhere. But crucially, Renault also makes it past the back marker and might be able to try again some point later on the lap. Depends if Roni makes an error at this point, I think. 1.5 laps to go. Isaac Price leads from his teammate Gabor. Then it's Jaban, closely followed by Unite, Maddie and Number. That's your top 6. Then it's Roni Krompus, followed by Renault Coots. And Renault, once again, really close under the rear wing of Roni. That does not work. And he's dropped back again. Gavin Pete in P9, Redbot P10, Gustash for Global Gaming P11. Then it's Frank for Team Up Racing. Kid and Yaroslav Donelik are having a bit of a fight. Let's see if Jaban can make any sort of move on Gabor in the last couple of laps here. He's as close as he's been basically since he was ahead of Gabor. So he really has to find a way past it if he wants. Not sure he'll risk everything. Third is still a good points paying position. But I can say with 100% certainty that as we enter the final lap now, if it finishes the way it finishes right now, Team Up Racing have got to hope for a miracle in race 2. Jaban not close enough, and he'll only have a couple more opportunities to gain and go for an overtake on Gabor on this final lap. Continuing with our rundown, Mega P15 currently, then Yaroloco in P16 with a worse for wear front wing, it has to be said, on that Yes Motorsports car. Then it's my fellow sim broadcast commentator Tilo Falkenberg driving for TC Racing down in P17. Boz for World Class Lions P18. Taut Vidas in P19, and Yarek Tiller rounds out the top 20. Isaac Price has had a flawless start to the first race, which was red flagged, a flawless start to the second race, and he looks pretty comfortable to take the win here in race 1, securing maximum points for Yes Motorsport in the final round of the championship. We'll go on board with Isaac once we've settled the dispute between Gabor and Jaban. Yeah, I think that's over unless Jaban sends it from 9 miles back or Gabor makes a mistake. I think it will be finishing in that order as we ride on board with Isaac Price as he comes around the final corner. Just one chicane to go. Boop, boop, onto the final corner, and Isaac Price will take the win in race number 1 of the final round of the Team Up Racing Championship. Well done to him. He does a bit of a weave and crosses the line. Then it'll be a bit of a wait because we've got Gabor, who has managed to stay ahead of Team Up Racing's Jaban. That's huge in the championship for those guys. So Isaac Price ahead of Gabor and Jaban. Who's coming across the line next? That looks like a black marker Yes Motorsport car. No, it was Unite. Then we have who do we have next? Maddie for Team Up Racing in P5. Then a whole flurry of cars down to P10. That'll be number Renault Coots and Roni. Close finish there between Renault Coots, Roni and Number in the end. Gavin Pete crosses the line in P9, up 11 places from the start of that race. Redbot P10. Good effort that for Race Green, both of their drivers in the top 10. Gustash in P11, Frank Team Up Racing in P12, Kid P13. Mega in P14 for Team Up Racing. Yaroloco P15, even with that damage that he acquired at some point. Tilo, a great result there, P16. Then it's Boz in P17. Tautvidas P18. Then it's the World Class Lions duo of Yari Katila and Timi Soini rounding out the top 20. And then we'll get a whole flurry of results from those who were lapped after the first lap drama that we had. And there come the times now then. So, Simjantas P21, Rocky 7 Up for Team Up Racing P22, Global Gaming Erotica P23, Upsas for Yes Motorsport P24, Trespasser for Yes Motorsport P25. Watch out for those two in race 2, they'll be starting quite high up. Phantom P26, Rick Cardle for Sidus P27, Pekka Koivunen, it all went wrong. He had a great qualifying. He's down in 28th. Chris McElroy for TC Racing after getting stuck in the gravel, P29. Bortz for Team Up Racing and Texas for Team Up Racing will be starting on the first and second row, and Jose for FRS will be starting on pole position for race 2. He finished P32, but he will start on pole position for race number 2. TRR have got 2 drivers right at the front of the next race. Texas, who had a really nice qualifying, if you remember. So he is one to look out for in race 2. He could be the dark horse that could be everything that Team Up Racing need to get back those points that they lost in race 1 to Yes Motorsport. So there will be a short break here before the start of race 2. However, we'll bring you up to speed with how the Teams Championship stood before we got going for this race today. So, the Teams Championship, a tie between Team Up Racing and Yes Motorsport after 44 rounds of racing, 6,476 points apiece, a whopping 622 points clear of any other team, and it all comes down to this. After the first race, Yes Motorsport undoubtedly leading, and after race 2, we will be here until we have crunched the numbers and worked out which of those teams has won. Because of the way that the point standings work in the Teams Championship, it's a little bit tricky to work out, so we will have to take some time and make sure we've got it right. And yeah, we will bring that to you before the end of the day. I'm also going to put up all of the 115 drivers who have competed throughout the year with us. It's been an absolutely brilliant year. 44 rounds. I've been involved in every single one of them. It's been a great pleasure to be part of this series, and yeah, we've enjoyed some great racing, and it's all thanks to all of these drivers that you're seeing on your screen now. This is how the standings were a few rounds ago. But yeah, all these drivers have competed throughout the year in various various guises. So yeah, big thanks to every single one of these guys and girls who've turned up to race. 115 drivers throughout the year. But yeah, don't forget the teams. There's been a lot of teams competing throughout the year. It's been mainly contested between a small number of them. Team Up Racing, Yes Motorsport, World Class Lions, Race Green, Born to Race, Master Race Car, TC Racing, Road Appraiser and Sidus. The rest of the teams not that well represented. Later in the year we had some representation from Gum Garage and the likes of Global Gaming. But yeah, we have quite a large void between some of the teams in the Teams Championship. But yeah, it is crazy to think that we've got a tie after such a long season. I know I keep going on about it, but it doesn't happen very often, so you know, got to make the most of these things when they happen. And I'll just get a prediction from our race director as to when the next race is going to start. How long do you reckon we're going to be taking, race director? Jonathan reckons it'll be a couple of minutes before we get going. We've had to end the race to make sure that the grid is perfectly set for this final race. We don't want to have any aborted starts or drivers out of position on the grid if we can help it. We need to get this race underway as quickly and as prepared as possible. So while we're waiting for that, little plug for for Sim Broadcasts, of course. If you would like to show your support, please head over to our social media pages, subscribe to us on YouTube, have a look at the other streams and races that we put out. If you've missed any throughout the year, then feel free to go and have a look and see what takes your fancy. You can follow and subscribe to us on Twitch. You can follow our Facebook and Twitter to keep a handle on what has been put out by us, and obviously when we go live, you can get live notifications from Twitch, or we always send out a notification on Twitter. So go and do all the good stuff there. We really appreciate your support. Thank you very much. Master Race Cars E-Challenge is coming up on the 12th of December. Sign-up's open on the LFS forum, and I know you all love this trailer, so I'll play it once again for you. See you in just a couple of moments. I really cannot say enough how good the layout is for this race. If you haven't had a look, go and have a look on MRC's E-Challenge server in Need for Speed. It is a very, very, very nice replica of the New York E-Prix track. It's an FOX race, an under-fueled FOX race. You'll have to do heavy fuel saving if you want to win that race. It's on the 12th of December. Go and sign up, because you should. There's plenty of space left. We want a full grid for that. They've put a lot of effort into this event, and we would love to see a full grid and an awesome turnout for that one. They really deserve it. Awesome stuff. Moments away then from the final race of the year, race 88 of 88 in the Team Up Racing 2020 Championship. I'll try not to tear up during this one. It's been a great year. Thanks to everybody from Team Up Racing for putting this series on. Thank you to all of you for watching, and thank you to all of the drivers. Let's do this one more time. Thank you to NDR for providing some race direction throughout the year. Thank you to TC Racing for hosting the servers. Let's do it one more time. Team Up Racing 2020 Championship, race number 2. Round 44, race number 2. Let's go. Jose lines up on pole position, followed by Texas for Team Up Racing. He could be a dark horse here. We're green. The final race of the year is underway. 36 cars thunder down towards turn number 1, and it's Jose already off. He doesn't want to be leading that train, and we've got contact already. That's a Team Up Race TRR driver being hit by, I think, Chris McElroy. Yep, but Texas has managed to hold it in the lead. Bort's off. Red flag. Absolute chaos again. Let's try that again, shall we, gents? It wouldn't be the Team Rock Racing Championship if we didn't have an aborted start on the last race, would it? Okay. Let's try that again. Hopefully a little bit more chill needed before the final race. Everyone a little bit excited. Yeah, let's see how we go for the restart. final few drivers are readying up, and we will be going for the restart here. Jose pole, Texas P2, Bortz P3, Chris McElroy for TC Racing P4, Pekka Koivunen P5, Rick Cardle P6, Phantom P7, Trespasser P8, Upsas P9, Erotica P10. The winner from the last race, Isaac Price, will be starting all the way down in 26th or 28th place, I believe. I will give you confirmation of that in just a few seconds' time. We're back on the grid. Let's do this one more time. Hopefully it's only one more time and we actually get away cleanly for this one. Here we go then. Will Jose bail out of the way straight away again? Only time will tell. Let's wait for the lights. Jose hoping for a better start. So is Texas. There are the revs. There are the lights. And we're green. Keep it clean, guys. Jose away this time and appears to be going for it. So we'll have a race into turn 1. Texas is ahead. That's Bortz lining up in P2. Then we've got 4 wide in the background, 3 wide into T1. That's Chris McElroy who's trying to get past. Yeah, he's got past Bortz. And Jose leads the way side by side with Texas. Here we go. Down to turn number 1. We've had a driver on their roof somewhere down the order. Not sure who it was. Texas takes over the lead. Once again, further down, Rick Cardle's had a good start. Chris McElroy's had a great start. As we head up to split 1, we'll get an update of the positions. Pekka Koivunen, what a start for him. He's up to P3. And there's Upsas, one of the Yes Motorsport drivers hoping to get a good result in race 2. Trespasser, likewise, will also be wanting a good start. Isaac is in P20. He's had a good start. And so is Unite in P19, carving their way through the pack. Japan just ahead of them as we got a car off just in. Oh, that's going to be crazy close. Isaac and Unite just get past without any sort of histrionics. As we have a concertina effect into the first hairpin. Japan having to go around the outside of who was that? That was Thilo Falkenberg, or at least trying to. Thilo's having a go at the 2 cars ahead of him. That is Gabor. Thilo gets past Gabor, and Erotica's there as well. Gabor's boxed in, a bit of contact with the side of the Global Gaming car, and Thilo has to go wide, and Gabor gets back past. So Gabor now side by side with Erotica, and Simjintas is the yellow car just ahead of these two. That's Erotica's teammate. Simjintas has gone wide. It's 3 wide. Gabor in the middle, and Simjintas very wise there, keeps out of the way. Doesn't want to squeeze those guys, and Gabor is looking all over the back of Erotica. Here's the view from the back of Erotica's car. He swings to the inside. Gabor side by side across the line. We've got another train of cars in pit lane waiting to come out. So a lot of casualties at the beginning of this race. It looks like Sabot, Kid, Number, Frank, Heroloko not having a good race. Number all the way at the back. So a driver who did very, very well in race 1, not having such a great time in race 2. Jose's taken over the lead of the race again. Team Racing's Texas in P2. Upsas up to P3. Past Pekka Koivunen for World Class Lions. Chris McElroy P5. He's under pressure from Bortz though for TRR. Bortz has so much pressure on his shoulders right now as he loses a place to Phantom. Every single point that TRR lose now is another nail in their coffin in the team's championship. Rick Cardle P9, Mega P10. Another TRR driver wanting to get through the order as quickly as possible and stay out of trouble. Isaac Price up to P15. There's a car between him and Japan Erotica. Is that car? Here's Japan in P13. Let's ride on board with him and see how he fares on the oval. A little bit of a gap to the car ahead of him. That's Gabor for Yes Motorsport. This the view from the rear of Gabor's car as he heads into the hairpin. He's got a whole bunch of cars ahead that he needs to get past before Japan catches him, and he runs wide again. Japan's right there. Jabor sends it on Gustas into the hairpin. That's a great move. He's pulled that off. Can he get it back on the exit? He'll be side by side, but he's got a good exit, and that's held Jaban up a little bit. Jaban won't have the benefit of the slipstream from Erotica. No, my apologies. That's Gustash as we come across the line to start lap 3. Gustash coming back at Jaban. No, he's backed out of it. And now Gabor has everything to do again. He's come up behind Mega. Jaban's going to be in the dirty air. We've got a car off. That's Pekka Koivunen in the wall. So after a great start, Pekka Koivunen has hit the wall. Gabor has the fastest lap because of all the slipstreaming he's been doing. And look at this. He's side by side with Rick Cardle. No, he thinks better of it. Rick's already going for a move on Trespasser. No, Trespasser's gone somewhere. Where's Trespasser gone? Oh, he's up here. Okay, so yeah, Rick Cardle having now been mugged by everybody. He's got cars left, right and centre. That's close. That's Isaac Price coming through. And Rick Cardle's been forced off by, I think it was Gustash. That's race over for Rick Cardle as he aborts the race. But yeah, here we go. Isaac Price comes around that corner. He passes a car to do that. There's a car off ahead. Another car aborts. This is crazy. We're losing cars left, right and centre as we head through the arena section. Isaac Price getting a little bit squirrely. This is madness in the final race. I love it. We've got Isaac Price knocking on the door of the top 10. Gabor's there. Trespasser's there. Upsas is there. Advantage still remains in Yes Motorsports corner. They are heading head first for the Teams Championship in the Team Racing 2020 Championship. Texas and Bortz and Jaban are TRR's only hope. But remember, it's an average of the top 2 drivers across both races, so we will not know what is happening in the Teams Championship until the end. It's bad that Number is right the way. In fact, Number is out of this race after a great result. Unite is struggling a little bit. He's P13. He's a couple of places behind Isaac. Isaac in P11 right now. Gabor, Trespasser and Upsas are inside the top 10, and they're carrying the honour of Yes Motorsport right now. Good effort for Jose here. He finished at the back of the last race, and he's made great use of pole position in race 2. He's some way ahead of Upsas, who runs very wide through turn 2. Phantom in P3, and then it's Texas, our dark horse. I mentioned this in qualifying. He had a great qualifying. He was unlucky in race 1, but he's running around in P4 right now. Again, it doesn't help for his team average, but at the end of the day, if he finishes high up, he's taking points away from Yes Motorsport, so it's really important for him to keep that position at this point. Likewise for Bortz, and as I say that, Bortz is backwards in the gravel. This is a disaster for Team Racing. Trespasser up to P5, Gabor up to P7, Isaac up to P9, and Bortz is dropping down the order. That's his race over. Yet more trouble for Team Rock Racing. Losing my breath here. Gabor is doing an amazing job here. He's absolutely carved through the field. He's put everyone else to shame behind him. He's got past Jaban, but Jaban looks mighty close. It's going to be so... Oh, that was so close. Jaban nearly crashed into the back of Gabor. He judged it perfectly. Or, you know, if you want to say it was too close, you can. Jaban on the inside then for the braking zone. They've got a TCR car. That's Chris McElroy ahead. He gets out of the way. I don't know whether he intended to do that, but he has. And that's let Gabor and Jaban through. So a nice wide line there from Elmo. Sees Isaac Price through as well. So Jaban is... He must be sweating with all these Yes Motorsport drivers behind. He has to stay ahead. If he doesn't stay ahead, TRR's chances of winning this championship are over. Jaban's done half the job that he set out to do in this championship. He's won the Drivers' Championship, but how much would he want to win the Teams' Championship today? I swear quite a lot, I imagine, as Gabor concedes a position to his teammate Isaac. Isaac is up to P7, Gabor in P8, and Isaac Price needs to get past Jaban now. That's the next car on his radar. Jose leads from Upsas. Then it's really close. Phantom has closed up. Texas is still in P4. Trespasser with Mouse doing very well in P5. Must be tricky for him in that car. Then Jaban in P6, who has a little bit of a gap over Isaac Price, but we know how quick Isaac Price is around here. We saw him absolutely dominate the first race, but you know, he's got past 20 odd cars so far in this race. But the higher up the field you get, the harder it is to get past the cars around you, especially if they're on a similar pace through the corners that matter. Especially the sweepers at the beginning of the lap. He's got a good exit. I don't know whether he's close enough to the back of Jaban. Not quite. I don't think he'll be able to do it here. But Isaac Price, super smooth on power application out of the corners, barely activating traction control sometimes. So let's see if he can make this move on this lap out of the final corner down to start finish. It's starting to get super, super tight. Ronnie Krompus is out at T4, trying to get the car back on the road, so not great for him. Jose is coming around to finish laps number 5, beginning of lap 6. Upsas P2, Phantom P3, Texas P4, Trespasser P5, and now Jaban under all sorts of pressure from Isaac Price. There's going to be a pass on here. Isaac is lining him up side by side. We go across start finish, and Isaac Price moves up to P6. Can Jaban fight back on the brakes? He's on the outside. No, he's conceded that position. Oh, bit of contact, and they rub, in fact, and that allows Gabor to shoot through. Wow, I did not expect that. What's happened to Isaac? Isaac's slowing down. Is it a controller problem? What's happened? This could potentially swing the team's championship. Number is out. Unite is down in P14. Isaac Price has got problems. He's dropping down the order. This is going to be so, so close in the team's championship now that Isaac Price is all the way down there. Gabor, basically, Gabor is Yes Motorsport's only chance. What has happened here? Into turn 1, he was being bumped a little bit by Jaban. Remember that this car doesn't have a starter motor. If Isaac's turned his engine off, that's game over. He can't turn it back on. Isaac has moved again, apparently. I'm hearing Isaac has moved again, so Isaac didn't turn his engine off. He's back in the race, but with half the race to go, he's in P20 again, and there's no way. He lost way too much time. He's out. He's out of the running. I mean, Texas and Jaban have got to keep their head down and just fight for every single position that they can get, because Gabor is the highest placed driver in Yes Motorsport from race 1. Upsas and Trespasser were quite a way down the order. Texas likewise, but Jaban, he has to get ahead of Gabor now. If Isaac Price had had that problem on the last lap, yes, I would have said, is that Glock? Is that Glock going slow? It is Glock! But unlucky, 6 laps to go, apparently. I wasn't allowed to say that. Jaban needs to get a move on. Gabor and Trespasser side by side. It looks like Trespasser... They're actually battling. What is going on? No, Trespasser has yielded to Gabor. That's good. Gabor needs to get his head down and move forward. Texas then. Texas can't allow any more Yes Motorsport drivers to get past him. He might not have a choice in the matter, but let's see. As he heads through the sweepers, that Yes Motorsport car behind him is going to disappear. As we've got a car off, that's Trespasser in the gravel. Yes Motorsport are falling apart now. Yes Motorsport's chances now rest with Upsas and Gabor. Texas and Jaban are doing everything they need to do here. This is absolutely incredible stuff. Easily the most exciting end to a season. Texas is off! He's in the wall at that corner. He was way too close to the back of Gabor. Way too close to the back of Gabor. It's over for TRR. If Jaban can't catch up to the back of Gabor, it is over for TRR. Come on, Jaban. Keep this championship alive. Gabor has made it up to P4. Upsas has taken over the lead as well. That's important. Important points there for him. Jose must have had a bit of a problem. Yeah, because he's now under pressure from a Phantom. So, a very, very close top three as we conclude lap number 7. Isaac's made another place up to P19, but it's too little too late. Whatever problem he had in the first corner of the previous lap has cost him and Yes Motorsport absolutely everything potentially. Gabor comes around the last corner to start lap 8. So, 5 laps to go. Jaban trailing him by only just over a second then. And this is so important now. Jaban, you have to catch Gabor if you want to keep the title hopes alive for both championships. Jan Wachowski can see that red and white car. 88 races and it comes down to this. Yes, Motorsport, we believe, just has the advantage in the Teams Championship. 9 points. 9 points the lead currently as we stand in this race to Yes Motorsport ahead of Team Racing. If Jaban gets past Gabor, that will help. If Isaac loses any more places, it won't matter because Upsas and Gabor are basically the two drivers in charge here. If Jose can get past Upsas, that will help Team Racing. If Upsas drops it, it's probably over for Yes Motorsport. It's so complicated working out all the different permutations that could happen here. But yeah, Jaban, he has to get closer to Gabor. Gabor has to keep that gap as big as possible and maybe put a car between him and Jaban. Don't forget, Unite also in the running, P12 just behind Pekka Koivunen. If Unite can make up any more places, that will help. Definitely. Gavin Pete, likewise, if he can gain any more places, that will help. But yep, 9 points, the advantage. If you remember back to, I think it was a couple of rounds ago, the gap between Yes Motorsport and Team Racing was 9 points. Let's see what happens here. Jaban definitely closing up on the back of Gabor. That gap is coming down. It's slight, but it is coming down. But we're running out of laps. We've got 4 laps to go. Jaban with the fastest lap. He's on absolute pace. He's throwing everything at this race to try and get past Gabor. Gabor driving with mouse. Jaban probably running with red mist, coffee and sweat at this point. Drinking any fluids he can get. Probably licking his eyeballs to try and get some moisture. As Isaac Price retakes the fastest lap down in P17. Apologies for that horrific image I just painted in your mind of Jaban licking his eyeballs. Isaac Price is probably quite annoyed at whatever happened at turn 1 a couple of laps ago. But yeah, every single place he makes up now will help. Texas has dropped down to P7 behind Erotica. Jaban has moved past Phantom as well as Gabor. So Phantom's had a shocking lap. What's happened to Phantom? He's way down. That's alarming. Phantom's been off somewhere. So Jaban now has to get past Gabor. The points gap for Team Racing just went up again because Phantom's dropped out of the race. So Phantom helping Yes Motorsport here with that. And look at the gap now between Jaban. This is doable. If Jaban can get another lap in like he just managed and be as strong on the brakes as he's been all race long, if he can manage that, then he can get past Gabor. I have faith that this is not over. If it is over, then full credit to Yes Motorsport. They've done everything they needed to do. But let's see how these next 3 laps pay out. We're on lap 10 of 12 in race 88 of 88, round 44 of the Team Racing 2020 Championship, here on simbroadcasts.tv. Upsas leads from Jose, who's just been passed by Gabor, and that's going to hurt Jaban. Jaban is going to be all over the back of that car. That's disastrous for Jaban. Just when he didn't need it. Look at the gap. It's up and up and up. It's a disaster for Japan and Team Up Racing. This championship is unfolding in front of my eyes and your eyes and all of our eyes, and most importantly Japan's eyes. 10 points advantage to Yes Motorsport as Gabor moves up to P2. That's what's happened there. Erotica P5, Texas P6, Gustas P7, Chris McElroy P8, Redbot P9, Unite in P10. So Unite's had a good recovery drive. Isaac also up to P15 after that problem. But yeah, Upsas and Gabor are doing everything they need to do for Yes Motorsport right now. And Japan, you've got to feel for him. That was just the wrong time to fall into the slipstream of Jose, and he's still there. He can't get past. Kig has spun and Isaac's got round him. Japan is going to get this. Oh, he's running to the back of Jose. Oh, that's so close. And Japan finally does manage to get past, but not without a bit of drama. Japan moves up to P3. That will help in the points. That will bring the gap down, but he's got to pray for an error. 2 laps to go. He can see the 2 Yes Motorsport cars ahead of him, Upsas and Gabor. Team Up Racing threw everything at the last few rounds of this championship. They recruited drivers. They bought some people back from retirement essentially to compete and try and get as many points as they can. They've thrown everything at Yes Motorsport, and Japan and Kevin Pete all season long have been putting in very, very, very consistent results. Those two have worked fantastically together. Japan with the driver's title, Kevin Pete second in the team's championship. Kevin will undoubtedly hold on to P2 in the Drivers' Championship, very well deserved. But 1 lap and 3 corners remain, and we are keeping our eyes firmly focused on Jan Wachowski, number 3, in position number 3 for Team Up Racing. Japan is the only driver, basically, that can change the fortunes of the team's championship. It's getting close, you have to say. Upsas isn't on pace with Gabor, so there's potential for some miscommunication on the last lap, and anything can happen. Anything can happen in racing, especially in the Team Up Racing Championship, the most unpredictable of unpredictable series, with fully reversed second grids, second races. And what a second race this has been. After the red flag at the beginning, we have been treated to thrills and spills. We're on the final lap. Upsas leads Gabor for Yes Motorsport for one final time. All they have to do now is keep those 2 cars on the road, and we will be able to say here in the Sim Broadcast commentary box with quite a lot of confidence that they will lead it. We are also extremely talented at commentator's curse, so keep it on the road, boys. You have to say though, after passing Jose, Japan has done an absolutely brilliant job of closing the gap back up to Gabor. Kevin Pete is under pressure from Isaac Price on the final lap. This is just adding insult to injury if Isaac Price gets past Kevin Pete on the last lap. Oh, he's so close. He's going for the move and he's done it. That is game over for Kevin Pete. 11 points now because of that move. The gap between TRR and Yes Motorsport with the advantage to Yes Motorsport. 4 corners to go. And unless Gabor runs out of fuel, crashes, or something else, Yes Motorsport are on course to winning the Drivers' Championship in spectacular fashion. But let's give some attention and some well-deserved praise to Yes Motorsports Upsas, who will come around the final corner to cement the team's championship victory in the TRR 2020 Championship to Yes Motorsport. Congrats to that team. That's amazing. Japan, commiserations. You won the Drivers' Championship, but it wasn't enough in the end. You couldn't seal the deal on the day. It's a team. It's a team event. It's a team sport. Fair play to Japan. Well done to Gabor for a great drive in race 2 to get up to P2. Likewise for Japan. Jose, after leading quite a lot of the race, he got in the way of Japan a little bit. Nothing he did wrong. Just an unfortunate placement meant that Japan not able to get close to Jose. Erotica P5, Texas P6, Gustas P7, TC Racing's Chris McElroy with one of his best results in the series actually there, P8, Redbot P9, Unite crosses the line in P10, Pekka Koivunen P11, TC Racing's Tilo Falkenberg in P12. Yes Motorsport Isaac, after putting our hearts in our mouths at the beginning of lap 2, manages to recover to P13, gaining crucial points for Yes Motorsport in the process. Gavin Pete, you got to feel sorry for him. It just wasn't his day. P14 eventually in race 2. Unlucky for him. P15 for Phantom after dropping down from a very good position. He was P3 at one point, I think. Born to Race Red P16. Timu Soini for World Class Lions P17. Global Gaming, Tautvidas P18, then it's Kig P19, Mimv in P20, and we're just waiting for a few drivers to cross the line. But there we are then. The team's championship officially goes to Yes Motorsport. Congratulations to Trespasser, Gabor, Jeremiah Sinella, Lucas Satautas, Nika Pantola, Paulis Petrosaukis, Patautas Lagutskas, and Zdravko Topolnyak. Well done. Isaac Price should be on that list. He wasn't officially added to the sign-up table that we had access to, but yeah, Isaac should be on that list after today's effort. So yeah, wow, what a race. P21 for Roni Krompus, P22 for Global Gaming Sim Gintas, Yari Katila for P23, Kid in P24, Rocky 7up for Team Up Racing in P25, and Yes Motorsport Yeroloko on his roof, out of bounds in his natural habitat in P26. So I think we're expecting a few driver interviews, especially from, I'm sure, a very delighted Yes Motorsport. Hey Number, hey Trespasser, congratulations.
Hello.
Trespasser, you, even though you are driving for Yes Motorsport, you took over the running of the Team Up Racing Championship midway through the season. So I don't know, how do you feel? Is this a little bit bittersweet for you?
Maybe yes, maybe no, but it was a good battle and it's nice.
Yeah, Number, how do you feel after that? You've basically been a member of Yes Motorsport the whole year. Uh, you've had your ups and downs, you've had your good results, your bad results, but yeah, how do you summarize this event and also the whole series? Go for it.
Well, I'm just happy that we won. I think everybody in the team is happy. From the start of the year, I think we were leading most of the time, most of the year. I think that Unite and Trispacer were racing almost every race and bringing in the points when other people couldn't. Yeah, I think that it's awesome that the championship finished the way it did. And I'm not thinking that the way that we won, even if TRR won it today, I think it would have been awesome finish to the championship because having almost a whole year of racing and going into the last race with tie on the points, I think it's an awesome result and an awesome thing for LFS.
Yeah, this was an absolutely brilliant round. I think this is the easily the most exciting event I've ever commentated on. And you have to say, when the races got away cleanly after the red starts, some of the cleaner races of the season. Even though some drivers were dropping it, there weren't many cars coming together, which was awesome. Great respect amongst everybody. We brought Isaac Price into the commentary box. Hi, Isaac.
Hello.
What on earth happened on lap 2?
Lap 2.
Oh, whichever lap it was, I couldn't. Too much happened in that race.
When I stopped in front of Dusban?
That.
Okay,
exactly
yeah.
that.
So I don't know. I think my throttle disconnected, but yeah, I was kind of in the middle of a corner and I went to accelerate and it wasn't accelerating, and I thought for a sec like all my pedals had just disconnected. But then I realised that my brake was still working. It was just my throttle, so that kind of helped me figure out how to fix it quickly. But
would you like to give a shout out for the manufacturer of your pedals on the Sim Broadcast stream, or not?
Well, yeah, I have Fanatec pedals, but I don't think it's really an issue with the pedals. It must just be the cable. I must have hit it or something with my knee under braking or something like that, because it was fine on the straight before, so. And it's never happened before.
Yeah,
so
you heard it here first. Isaac Price's knee nearly cost them the team's championship. Well done though. You managed to recover up to P13 in the end. So yeah, grabbing crucial points in the end to that. Tilo Falkenberg very, very happy that he finished ahead of you. After that, let's grab a couple of other people who've had an influence on the series. Let's say hi to Kid. Hi, Kid.
Hello, Pete.
Hi, you joined me for commentary on one of the rounds this season. You've also been involved in the driver's side. Give us your thoughts on today's racing and the racing throughout the season.
Well, firstly, you can hear on my voice that I'm still recovering from the big hit in the race 2. I'm just kidding. I'm after a little dental surgery, but yeah, today was kind of fun. I liked the first race, although a lot of people probably didn't. I made 14 places. The second one, I was the unlucky one because I got lag hit and my car is probably spinning somewhere outside of the track. So I think 24th with one lap down is a good result in the end. The season overall, I wasn't racing much. Firstly, I started on the keyboard and mouse, and because I had no wheel, then I got wheel and I participated more often. Realized how to deal with this series, how to have fun in here, and it was okay until my pedals broke. So after a little break, I got back for the last few races, and I must say, despite all the crashing, it was fun. It's good to have organized series regardless of what's happening in it.
Yeah, absolutely. And someone who was instrumental at the beginning of the championship, most notably, and who put this whole thing together, Rocky7up joins us in the commentary box. Hi, Rocky.
Hi, Pete. Well, I just want to say, first of all, big congrats to Yes Motorsports. It was a big battle all year long. And to come so close to this race, to the final race actually of the two races today, it was amazing and well deserved to them, even though there was, of course, as some people call it, a small Cold War going on. Of course, I more than happily congratulate them with that well deserved victory, first of all. And yeah, it was an amazing race. I think it was so close I could hear the commentary which I had on, because I was racing myself again today for the first time. So it seems to have been a really exciting battle.
Yeah, it definitely was. The drama at the beginning kind of set the tone in race 2, and as the S Motorsport drivers started to pick off the Team at Racing drivers, the points gap just grew and grew from 9 to 11 points in the end. So yeah, that was exciting, Rocky. So yeah, did the season end the way that you hoped? I guess, but besides the result in the teams championship, you have the drivers championship. Your driver, Japan,
of course, I'm happy.
took the
I let's just be honest. Besides the mixed, we had some chaos rounds, but basically the racing has been great. Basically throughout the season on average, and we've had great drivers, great teams, and let's not be honest. Let's not forget, I should say, great commentary teams and broadcasting right here by you guys. And I'm really thankful you did this for my little championship, which thanks to that, let's be honest, grew out to be a bigger championship than I thought before. So I'm really thankful also to you guys for your awesome commentary, broadcasting, and of course the overlays, everything. I'm really thankful for that. Also, not just as a team owner and of course original organizer, but also as of course sponsor from the series. I'm really pleased with the way you broadcast the series. So.
Yeah, you're very welcome. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to do it. Yeah, we've enjoyed it immensely. Talbidas joins us in the commentary box. Hi there.
Hi, good evening, good evening.
P18 in race 2, a good result in race 1 also. How do you rate your event and indeed the entire Team Up Racing 2020 Championship from your side?
Well, in general, the performance wasn't that good, in this race or in general in this championship. But, well, guys, I would like to say big thanks to you since the championship was well presented and well organized, and the guys, you did a very good job. The other thing is very, very big congratulations to the US team since their championship. They did a really good job championship, and well, the other thing is as well, I would like to say apology from the whole global gaming team since um, the last stage of the championship wasn't that good, wasn't that pleasant. There was a lot of talks about us and stuff, so we would like to say a big apologies to the.
Well, after today, I'm sure it'll be water under the bridge. Good sportsmanship there to open up and own up to your mistakes in previous rounds. But it was good to see you guys getting involved in the championship, and hopefully you can learn from that. And hopefully we'll see you involved in more stuff very soon. So,
Thank you.
you're very welcome. Thanks a lot to everyone who's joined me in the commentary box this afternoon for some interviews. Congrats to Yes Motorsport and Team Up Racing for an awesome series all year long. Congrats to TRR, obviously, for the result in the Drivers' Championship. Congrats to Yes Motorsport for winning the Teams' Championship in phenomenal style. Well done to TRR for organising what I think was a successful year of racing. I'm sure they'll be doing something in the new year that you can follow along with. But yeah, I think it's time to wrap it up. I've been Peter Butcher. This has been the Team Up Racing 2020 Championship. 44 races concluded. And yeah, keep an eye on our social media and stuff for what's coming up with us over the next few weeks and months. You can check us out at simbroadcasts.tv. From everybody here, have an awesome evening. Thank you very much. Good night. Hello and welcome back to the Sim Broadcasts Commentary Box for a bit of post-race Easter eggness, if you like. We aren't quite done. And to anybody who's still watching or watching this on demand on Twitch, we're going to have a little bit of fun. So yeah, Number, you're here. Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to watch Number's crash in race 1. All right, let me just set this up. So do you want to give a bit of a background on why we're doing this, Number?
Yeah. So I was talking with Pete, and I said that I always rewatch the broadcasts after the races because I always want to see where I crash, and it's almost never on the broadcast. So I never get to see how much I fail.
Well, you're about to see it live, and you're about to talk us through what happened. So,
Yeah. So I was having Pedro behind me from the start of the race, and he had a lot less downforce. I think on the lap 2 or 3, he came on the ovals from so far behind to almost get me, but he outbraked himself. So every lap I was careful to just get a good exit on the oval, and later in the race he got even faster. So that was not enough. So I started kind of letting him get to me in the first sector, so that he would always lose in the bad air, and then I would run away. And on this lap, he got very close, even though he was in the bad air. But he got too greedy, in my opinion.
yeah, he was already into you by the time. There was no way he was going to make that move. There's
Yeah, I
no
lifted.
hope, absolutely no hope he was going to make that move. So we will watch it again on board with Pedro. Give me a sec.
Yeah, I lifted and downshifted, and I was hoping that he will somehow slow it down, but he didn't. I think he got maybe a bit frustrated because there were like 5 laps where I slowed down in sector 1 to get him near to me, so he lost downforce in bad air, and then I ran away for the rest of the lap on the straights. I mean, you gotta use the bad air into your defense. Yeah, so he's behind here, but now I lift a bit so he comes closer. And he doesn't lose so much downforce here, so I was a bit surprised because usually he lost it and had to lift. Yeah, now I just take my normal line.
You had nowhere to go. That was 100% Pedro's fault. So yeah.
Yeah.
And it was on the stream, so you get to watch it back.
Nice.
Excellent. So yeah, TRR with a bit of a dive bomb on Yes Motorsport to try and maybe change their fortunes. No, I can't say that, can I? I'm not allowed to say that.
No.
Yeah.
Pedro is a good guy. He's my ex-teammate from
Yeah.
endurance races in TRR.
Yeah, and wrote a praiser, and he said sorry. There you go. Chat messages
Yeah.
are shown in replays. So, yeah, he's a good guy. Pedro, very clean racer. It was just too opportunistic to do that.
I think
Definitely.
he knew that if he goes behind me there, he will again lose so much time that he has no chance to get me on the oval.
Yeah.
So every time I just had to make sure that I come like 1 second ahead of him onto the oval.
Uh-huh.
Otherwise, he was like half a second faster than me on the oval because he had so much less downforce.
Any other thrills or spills from this race that anybody else that's here wants to look at? Tilo, what happened to you during this race? You had an interesting race, and you too, Elmo. Pipe up.
Race 1, I got rear-ended.
Oh, good.
So I was slowing in
lap was
front of
that
the car. Lap 1, team.
Lap 1, turn 1.
Oh, fantastic. Let's watch
The
Elmo
car
start.
span out
I
in
love
front of
watching
me, I
Elmo
slowed down
starts to
and I got,
races. That's always
yeah.
fantastic. Oh, you're in the end of the pit lane with the rest of the squabble. That's excellent. Okay, so race 1 on board with our very own Chris McElroy. Enjoy. Apologies for the chat messages there. Oh,
I think that got out live as well.
Did it?
Was it that one? I don't know. One of them did.
Well, we didn't. Yeah,
Race
maybe,
2,
maybe
maybe.
didn't manage to mute it on time or something. I don't know. Anyway, here we go. On board with Almo. This is a bit of a role reversal, Almo.
Was it race 1? Yeah, it was race 1.
Yeah, because you were at the end of pit.
Yes,
End of
it
the
was
pits
for
on
race
race 2.
one.
So
Yeah.
here we go. Did you get rear-ended? Did you say?
Yeah.
Here we go then.
It was quite interesting. I don't know who it was.
It looks like a world-class Lions car. Oh, who was it? Oh, that car's ruined. Oh, you absolutely got.
Yeah,
Oh, you had.
Yeah,
Yeah.
completely
Wow.
high-sided. Couldn't go anywhere.
That. Oof. Okay. Who was that? Who was that? Who was culpable for that? Who did that? Hang on. So there you are. It was a world-class Lions car. But which one was it? Had a purple front wing. It might have been Yari. Was it Yari? It was Yari. Yari Katilla. Yari Katilla absolutely wrecked your race. Yari Katilla, ladies and gentlemen.
So annoying. I was so high up it before it got red flagged in the first try in that one.
Yari Katilla is a very sporting, very gentlemanly driver. So, yeah, an honest mistake from Yari there. He wouldn't have been intentional. But Elmo got absolutely
I had
wrecked.
to put the anchors on because the car was spinning right in front of me.
Yeah, and
Tilo.
that car would have been me, I suppose.
Tilo, what happened to you in this race?
I got around this mess somehow on the inside.
You're currently in a wall on lap 1 when I've gone to you.
Yes, that was my only mistake this evening.
Okay.
My only real one outside of qualifying, that is. I was, I misjudged the dirty air and lost the front downforce and went into the outside retaining wall for the uphill left-hander. Then I rejoined right behind Rocky, who gave me a hard time to pass on the second lap, and then.
Well, Rocky's also in the wall. As soon as I change camera to Rocky, he's in a wall on the oval. So, yeah.
Ooh.
Good.
Yeah, I got hit off by I think it was Upsals. He just
we'll
straight drove
watch
into
that
my
as well.
back when
Hang
I
on.
didn't even change my line. So
We'll watch that as well. There's nothing more I love, Rocky, than watching you get binned. It's literally my favourite thing in the world
Love you too,
to
Pete.
watch that. So let's watch. Oh, that's a murder. That's an absolute murder. We're watching that in slow motion because you got absolutely murdered. Okay, off we go. So Rocky 7 up, ladies and gentlemen. Well, what can I say? Sim Jintas got collected in that accident as well. And Upsas, yeah, that was pretty bad for his race after that. So, oops. For Upsas.
Gabber asked to check race 2, turn 1.
Race 2 during what, sorry?
Turn 1.
Race
yeah,
2,
you can see
turn
more
1.
Rocky 7 up spinning.
Yeah, I can vouch for Gabor's request because I got lag hit by something which happened ahead of me, and you can see me flying off into the sunset.
Okie dokie.
Well,
I
if
will
you're
pull
going,
up that replay right now.
if you're gonna watch race 2, lap 1, you're gonna see me and Mary losing it on a straight together, like two amateurs that never raced LFS before.
Sorry, race. Was it the real start or the red flag start in race 1?
Yeah, the real
sorry.
start race 2. We just
Real start race 2 from
Yeah.
whose point of view?
You can watch it from Maddie's. It will be funnier.
From who?
Maddie, Matthias.
Oh, Maddie. Sorry. Okay, I didn't understand what you were saying. Maddie, on board. Okay, let's bring up the cameras. I'll leave names over cars so that you can see who's who more easily for this. Alrighty, here we go. Riding aboard with Maddie.
And my wheel cooling fan has just turned on.
Well, it's a good job that it did it now, not when you needed it during the race.
Might have been worse
What
during
happened?
the race if it wasn't on.
What happened to Maddie? For some reason, the camera just cut
Oh,
away.
you
That
went
was weird.
from Maddie to Isaac.
No. For some reason, the camera just jumped. I don't know what LFS did there. That was strange. Oh wow, Maddie. Okay, we need to watch that again. Okay. Hopefully the camera doesn't jump this time. Slow down, replay. Thank you. Roof cam. Maddie's on the grass. Numbers
What way to turn?
about
Take
to
turn
get
1.
mounted. Oh. Here we go. It's good in slow motion. You can put music over the top of that. Oh, Unite gets murdered. Oh, that's how Unite's race went from bad to worse. Oh, Maddie so nearly took out Gabor. And it did, in fact, clip the front wing of Isaac. Isaac lucky to be able to carry on from that, actually, considering how much Isaac's car was bouncing around afterwards. But yeah, Unite, absolute passenger in that one.
Yeah, I was. Now I see it. It's a bit of a turn, and me and Maddie got behind Brandon Kutz, right?
Yeah. Huh?
And I just lost downforce and couldn't turn the car to keep on the track. And when you catch a bit of a grass, it's over. And I was like, okay, I will slow it down, got a bit of asphalt to slow it down. And I was like, I'm gonna slow this down before I get to turn 1. And then I feel a whack from behind from Maddie. And I'm like, I'm not slowing this down.
Number absolutely wiping Unite out there. Amazing. Oof. Anybody
People, you want to laugh more on Rocky 7 Up?
Okay, go on, hit me.
Check my start in the first corner.
On race 2 or race 1?
Race 2, yeah.
Race 2, Rocky, turn 1. Oh, okay. Whoa, there's a Yoroloco, and there's a Yoroloco out the track again. And okay, yes, we'll watch this. This looks fun.
I might have caused this, maybe.
All right, well, I think if I was a betting man, I wouldn't bet against that. Let's have a look. On board with Mr. Rocky 7 Up for the start. Yeah, I don't know how Yoroloco managed to pirouette over the fence, so I think we'll have to watch that back as well somehow. Yoroloco did all sorts of crazy stuff this season, and this is up there with being the most spectacular round for him. I'm already too late. The accident's already happened. He's already out of bounds. Okay, good. Slow down, replay. Give me some time, please. Alrighty. Yoroloco, roof cam. Go for it. How have you done this? Oh, there's Tilo. Simjintas, Mega. Oh, so he did actually react. Fair play. Oof. Okay. There's some weird ping involved there that caused that. Kid thanking the chat. Just generally. But yeah, Yoroloco tried to avoid that. That was a little bit unlucky for him. So yeah. Anything else I should keep an eye on?
Yeah, now you can just keep the replay going and see him just going through the pit exit with a pit exit
With a closed
closed.
pit lane.
Yeah, Soini just did that
Yeah,
as well.
no problem in the world, just floor it.
Off he goes. Closed pit lane. Oh. Brilliant. Okay. Oh, and then he joined the spectators.
Oh, he tried again, did he? Yeah.
Yeah, Texas got the lead of the race. Somehow. We missed it on the stream, so I want to find out how that happened. Come on. Okay, well, where did this happen? Where did he get the lead? Oh, so it's already happened before split 1. So I think we've got to go back a bit further to find that. Okay, so he was nearly passed into turn 1. Why does that keep happening? Nearly passed into turn 1. So it happened in turn 2. They were side by side. Texas just managed to hold it around the outside into turn number 4. Okay, good. Gabor messaged Twitch. Yo, Sim Broadcasts, show me that race 2 lap 1 T1 for my onboard again, plus. So we're watching Gabor's onboard in race 2. Yes, Motorsport Gabor. Gabor. I have no idea how to pronounce your name. My apologies. Okay, here we go.
Try the last name.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. Good start, straight into Gabor's slipstream. Not Gabor, Jaban. It's been a long day. Oh, that's the parting of the Red Seas. And look at that, absolute carnage, and Gabor's just like... Wow! That's amazing! Okay. Hands down, the best start of the race. Let's watch that again. This time, let's watch it in slow motion, because that deserves some slow motion at various points. Why does that keep happening in replays? Roll. There we go. Okie dokie. So, 30th up to 29th when he gets past Jaban. Or does he? I'm guessing so. So there's 2 cars off there. So that'll be 27th. Unite's going to get murdered by his teammate Number. There he goes. There goes Roni. Here comes Maddie, but Maddie's going to miss the back of Gabor. Alright, next corner. There goes Yaroloco over the fence with Rocky. There we go, beautiful. Millions of pounds of F1 car just leaves. Frank's off, as usual, on the left. Here comes Geb Pete, about to be wiped out by Boz. Good old Bozidar Velenov, beautiful. Takes out Renault Coots as well for good measure. Gabor's like, which way do I put the wheel? Yeah, through we go, beautiful. Wow! Hats off to Gabber. What position was he in across the first split? Started P30 and was up to P16, so 14 places gained off the start for Gabor. That's excellent. Anything else? I don't think we can top that, frankly, but anything else?
I think we can, by champagne toast for Yes Motorsports, maybe.
I don't have any champagne handy. Feel free to bring me some very quickly. But
I wish I was close to wherever you live, so I'm probably not.
No. That was excellent. An excellent start for Gabor. P14 after split 2, battling with Erotica and Tilo. Again, apologies for Frank's potty mouth in the chat. So yeah.
And Ben is just behind him.
Yeah, I
So-
wonder. Let's watch it from Japan's point of view, because Japan must have had a good seat in the house for all of that chaos as well.
Actually, I noticed that Maddie just nearly hit Ziban as well on the start crash, so... I should say correctly Jaban, but yeah.
Japan. Oh, look at that. Oh, Maddie. Oof. Yeah, so Gabor's a couple of cars ahead already. Frank rejoining there, kills back market. Oh, okay. So Japan also with cat-like reactions and lifting off in all the right places as well. So great driving from Japan there, as would be expected from our drivers' champion. And yeah, there's Gabor only 2 cars ahead. So Japan just gets past Red Bot, and that's that job done. Of all the rounds this year, guys, which was your favourite to watch or to drive in? Which was the standout race for you?
If I can answer, you probably know my answer.
This one?
No, actually not. The very first round race too, where I got my only podium of the season.
The UF1 at Aston one.
Oh, I love the UF1 at Aston. The UF1 at Aston is always a great place to do UF1 racing.
We had a
I
right
had
big
such
race
an amazing
too on
battle of
that one.
Elmo there, all the race long. Actually, both races. Luckily, just got the actual second race where I think Jimmy Viertuinen, or what it's
Vertinen,
called,
yeah, Jimmy Vertinen.
was actually catching up with Elmo and then battling with Elmo gave me the space to run away and claim my 3rd position. So that was amazing.
Then I got mugged on the last lap as usual.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I think the most enjoyable race for me this year was actually the XFG race that we did at Firm Bay, the first time that we trialled our first set of overlays on your stream. That for me was a pretty
Yeah, it was a
exciting,
great race. It was a
pretty
great race.
exciting race, and also it was just. I think the thing that stood out for me was the fact that me and Elmo had basically written a load of features the night before for the overlays, completely untested, and we would. I shouldn't say that Elmo was impatient. I was impatient, and I was like, okay, let's just test them. What's the worst that could happen? And the worst that could happen. Well, no, it worked, but the worst thing that happened was that in qualifying, the order of the drivers was completely wrong, and we had to turn the overlays off during quali and revert to
yes,
TV directory.
I remember that.
Because they mixed up everything, so.
It was completely untested. We thought I had more faith in my overlays than probably I should have done. But since then, it's been pretty okay. I think using each of your races as kind of a bit of a way to I guess improve and build on what we were doing.
Yeah. I mean, let's be honest. I'm a happy guinea pig, you know, because look at what you guys have progressed as an organization, as broadcasting team from the beginning of the season. We're still TV director and just basic, you know. I mean, your commentary has always been great, Peter. You know, I'm a big fan of you, but as your commentary. But it was basically you commentating and doing the cameras as TV director. And look at where we are now. It's just professional. So really props to you guys.
Yeah, it's been a heck of a year, considering where we all started at the beginning of the year, and
Yep.
me just starting the TRR Championship for fun, just because I fancied doing a bit of Twitch streaming and trying my hand at commentary with TV director. And yeah, to this day, the TRR 8 hour remains our best performing stream. I have the numbers of that actually, Rocky, if you're interested. Hang on, I'll just pull those up right now.
Did that do better than the 4 hours Western, really?
To this day, the Cholova 7 Endurance Pros 8 hours of West Hill was the best performing stream we ever ran, with 67 average viewers, 92 maximum, 607 unique viewers, 71 unique chatters, 1,381 live views, and yeah, pretty decent stream. That was back on the 9th of May. But that was a huge event with a lot of
personally,
drivers.
when you talk about
Redfield?
endurance, I mean that was a great race, and the
Yeah, it was a
and
Westfield,
the
yeah.
cast was really great. But from a race point of view, I believe Aston was basically the big one this year for me. You know, for what I had organizing. But yeah.
So let me just pose a question to you then. Which of the races in the Team Racing 2020 Championship was the most appreciated by the viewers? Which one was the most watched, do you think?
Ooh,
I'm
that
talking
would
about
have to
live.
be like
I'm talking
4
about
rounds
live
back, maybe.
views.
4 or
4
5
rounds
rounds
back.
back.
Oh, you think? You think it was? You think that it's kind of built up towards the end of the series?
I would say, but maybe I'm wrong.
Okay, well, I have very high hopes for today's stream, Rocky, because today's stream I think had the highest viewership of any Team Racing 2020 Championship race. Not really surprising, considering what you know the what was at stake and you know the amount of interest that was in this final race. But I'm just trying to work out which of the TRR races was the highest, the best performing. I'm just trying to filter my spreadsheet here.
Well, last time I looked, this race had like 45 current viewers at the same time, so it could very well be this one.
Sort range by column. Okay. Oh, that's not good. That's not worked at all. Hang on. Tilo, I need your spreadsheet
Excel
skills.
being Excel.
Yeah, Excel's being sorry, Google Sheets is being Google Sheets. I'm being incompetent and doing this under pressure. Let me try and find out what it was. Alright, so round I honestly
We
think
need students here to be our minions.
Aren't you a student, Tilo? Fantastic. Well volunteered, even though you do most of the number crunching for us anyway. Yeah, today's is easily going to be the highest performing, the best performing of the rounds. So that basically answers our question. Aside from that, there's been a few really popular rounds with people throughout the year. They were mainly early on because that was when we had really healthy grids, and as you say, mainly later on. Last week was pretty great. Round 41 was pretty decent as well. So yeah, plenty of good races. Yeah, I was trying to find a
actually,
replay.
a question in the chat from Boshidar, Varinov, I can see.
Okay.
I actually have the same question, and you know that. You can probably read it out yourself.
I don't know what we're doing next year, so yeah, we'll have to come back to you on that. There's nothing confirmed either way, but yeah, cannot say. Have to wait and see. So
But yes, it was a bit hard year because we choose combos not that easy, and combos that might be tricky to drive, tricky to work on tires, and tricky to overtake. Each combo was a bit different, so it really was showing who was training and who was just joining.
yeah, it was an awesome series, all told, and it culminated in one of the most exciting finishes to a season I think I've witnessed in LFS, besides the races that I was driving in back in the day. Yeah, I don't remember.
Back in the long ago.
To be honest, the races that I remember the most obviously weren't that too far in the distant past. But in terms of comparing those to, you know, I think this year's been weird for me because I've stopped driving in LFS completely, basically, and I'm now behind the camera and watching the twists and turns of a season like this from this position has been really different. And you know, there's always been a that itch in the back of my mind, especially today when basically the entire commentary team was like, "Nah, Pete, you're on your own. We're driving. This is too much fun." I was like, "Oh, cheers, guys." But it was fine. They were feeding me information during the stream. But yeah, watching this series from my commentary position has been very weird, because in terms of championship battles and that feeling of being involved in a series as a driver, you guys all know how that feels. So to see it from a different perspective, very strange, but I've enjoyed it a lot.
I also enjoyed it a lot. I mean, back at I think I returned to LFS Country at the XRG at South City 5 round.
Correct. I remember that.
Yeah, and it was nice to be back in this position, I must say. I mean, if, let's say, the whole world didn't suddenly go to Anyway, I might not have returned, at least not that early.
No, yeah.
And it was a great experience to check back up with you. I mean, I can remember right around the City Liga times, all those talks on the TCR Discord, I say. Back then it was just the TeamSpeak.
Yeah. Welcome to the Sim Broadcasts podcast, episode 1.
I like it.
Yeah.
Our new format.
This is our new format.
Yep.
We are now Sim Podcasts. That is our new brand.
Season ended, so why not?
I'm going to just quickly register that domain before someone nicks
Or live for podcasts by Sim Broadcast.
Yeah, thank goodness Tilo's not in charge of branding. So yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
I'm in a savage mood tonight. I'm sorry, Tilo. I'm in a savage mood.
Yes, you are.
It's the last round of the season. I feel like Ted Kravitz when ITV lost the F1 broadcasting contract, when he walked down the pit lane in Brazil and said, "Oh, I don't really care. This is the last time. What they're going to do?" And then Ted Kravitz ended up being back the next season to work with some other broadcasting company. But anyway, yes, I've had a lot of fun tonight. It has to be said. And
That's good.
I wasn't really sure going into this race whether it was going to be enjoyable because, after Sunday's race in the MRC series, I was a bit worried because that race was billed to be pretty great and it was good, but the disparity between the top guys and the back markers was pretty huge.
Yep.
And fair play to the guys here tonight. Yes, qualifying was a bit worrying, but on the whole, once the races got going, it was great and the championship battle was awesome. So yeah, awesome stuff.
Well, the thing is that guys is not also this car, so pace difference is huge.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like on just a wing difference can make a second. Different pressures can do like let's say at start it might be hot, later it can be fly. So it really depends on setup and just on how guys practice.
Yeah, obviously, yes, Motorsport were pretty hot on their setups.
Yep,
Isaac's
some guys
qualifying, that
from
was stunning.
Yep, some guys from our team did apps, so that helped on setup. So nice. But yes, it's a fun car, but like guys need to practice it. Otherwise, it's a bit chaos because the draft is huge, and dirty air is like half second or so, and if you hit it, it's just gone. No grip at all.
Yeah, there's at so many points during this race today. You saw, I think it was Renault Coots who did it on multiple occasions. He got so close to the car in front going into the sweepers that as soon as the downforce went over the car, the gap opened up and he had to start all over again. It's so difficult here. So this is one of the tracks. Obviously, we're not running K32 in the MRC series. We're running KY3. I'm sure Adam and Travis are going to have an absolute whale of a time commentating that race. That's going to be
Yeah, but that's on a bit easier because it has a bit more overtaking spots. Like on Spoon, it's easier to follow car because you can take a white line and just get draft at exit. Here it was like you can take white line on Spoon. I did that at Rocky, but then it's hard to get braking.
Yeah.
So yes.
Watching on board through Spoon, lots of drivers approaching that very differently because obviously you've got this somewhat unknown right-hander onto the oval. Personally, I love K32. I think it is easily my favourite S2 combo because was that a disagreement? Side?
Yeah.
No, it wasn't. But I just love to see this as a proper combo, not just an open config.
Yeah, well,
I agree with that.
hopefully Eric adds K32 as a combo. Eric, if you're listening. Oh, goodness
And
me, my
if you
voice.
need ideas for names, please go to Mr. Butcher.
Why?
You can, since it's your favorite combo, you pretty much can come up with some nice name for this variation.
Well, it's funny that Elmo, are you still here? Or are you
I'm still here.
Well, in times gone by in LFS, me and Elmo used to spend our days coming up with corner names for city driving layouts. Do you reckon we'd be any good at naming corners in racetracks, Mo?
Maybe.
Well, do you want to go down the top list of names that we came up for in our Kyoto tracks in days gone by? Sweet Fingers.
Well, yeah, Sweet Fingers one of them. That was a running joke from something completely different. Which you don't even know about.
You've explained that story to me, and I still remember it. Yeah. Yeah.
We always have a Devil's Corner because there's always a
Devil's Corner somewhere.
Yeah.
I've named a few, but
I can't remember half of them now. Some of them, well, quite a lot of them don't exist anymore.
No, that's true. But yeah, we did say at some point during the year, Tilo, didn't we, that we were going to make a database of corner names for LFS? Because do you remember
we did.
TBO challenge race where we had? We're going off topic slightly from the TRR Championship here, but I think this is interesting.
We are in the podcast section
This
anyway.
is the podcast section.
This is podcast. It's all fine.
It's a completely ad-libbed, impromptu podcast we've just invented. Anyway, in TBOC, when me and Owen were commentating over that race, it made it so much easier to commentate on when you knew the corner names, because you could kind of create the narrative as you went. Like, rather than approaching some corner number, it was nice to be able to say, oh, he's heading into Chapman or braking for Tarzan, because people know where those corners are just by the names. But in all the years of LFS, there have been very few corners named, and I wonder whether, if more effort was put into doing that back in the day, whether our job now would be a bit different. I don't know. What do you reckon? Because we do have certain corners that have names, but they're a bit naff, or kind of an in.
Partly, yeah, in jokes, like that corner simply
turn 9 KY3, yeah.
Yeah, simply because it was coined in one of the GTAL races where everyone simply flew off in that corner, and so it got stuck.
Maybe this is something we need to put more effort into.
Well, if you're gonna do it, I would wait till after the update of all tracks.
Yeah, I'll wait until I'm very old.
Well, if we can come up with it now, there might be more reason
maybe
to...
be included actually in some way with textures, maybe.
Not that. I wouldn't go that far, but that with the new update, it simply becomes a staple to call those corners the way they are called, and if the names are pretty much in place there when the update comes out, there's more chance that they get established.
Well,
I guess if you look at it like Rockingham, which of course is a real life track, which has like the corner names on the barriers and
that's quite unusual.
The tire stacks.
It's quite
that's actually a nice thing. I really like that.
I don't know of any. Do we know of any other tracks that have that?
Nürburgring has the Schumacher S and the name sponsor chicane here.
Yeah,
final chicane.
sponsored corners don't count. But yeah, Rockingham, because it was a new track and they decided the names up front, that was a very good idea. Most tracks get the corner names from legend.
I suppose, but since
with the exception
basically
of
most all the
Snetterton,
tracks are technically going to be new tracks, and whenever the update comes, you might as well think about it.
that new Snetterton layout, I forgot what it's called. They
300.
decided to name a load of corners.
Yeah.
But yeah, normally it's just something like that happens.
Well, I did start writing a map for Blackwood because Blackwood is the oldest track, and the first chicane is very easy. It's the Oak Tree chicane.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, the old Oak Tree, I love that stuff a bit.
But beyond that, it's kind of taking almost like looking for inspiration from other tracks where how the corners are profiled and things. But Oak Tree is the only real corner that deserves a name there.
Beyond that, from
if you want to be really, let's say, not swear, really, really dedicated. I was going to say use another word, but why not go back in history of LFS and look at instants which happen in every corner, if you have the time for it.
We need an Immol corner, like Senna S.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Immol, yeah.
Absolutely. Anyway, this has been a blast, but it is dragging on. So
a bit.
We'll call it a night, I think.
I can tell a bit of story because we did yes team like very, very randomly. Like number and on night in Fragmaster's Discord say let's make a team for this and this championship. So they start talking to Gabber. Then, like I don't know, an hour later, number text me, "You draft with us." So it was so randomly.
Well, thank goodness you did it.
Yep. Then I got fast to drive it. Later, Upsas joined it, I think. So we had a bit more people, but it's like I got Lithuanian people to drive with me a bit.
Yeah, the Lithuanian team. Where was Lagutskas for the last couple of rounds?
Yep, we got him, but he's like, nah, I will drive. What he did.
I suppose he was driving the combos that he enjoyed.
Yep.
Yeah.
Funny thing is that Isaac joined us for Blackwood GT2 and today. So in Blackwood he didn't got us any points because Fast and Excellent did. And today after that pedal failure, he almost didn't score us points again. It was Gabber and Onite until like last 3-4 laps.
Okay, cool. I mean, yeah, it's good to form a team for a championship like this, especially when it's so long and you need a big pool of drivers to take from, so that you can be competitive.
And it's quite good example if you don't have it. If you can like this with just a couple of hands, and that's it.
Yeah, we should probably make a plug then for the end of season TBO race that's coming up at the end of the TBO C. That's a chance for some people to group up and get a team together for the 6 hour, which is Aston North in a few.
Maybe I will do that. I don't know yet.
Yeah. Find out about that in the TBOC sub forum. I think that's being announced formally at the weekend, I believe. I think that's going to be announced formally at the weekend as part of the NDR package for the TBO challenge. Let's call it a day. We'll have a
Yep.
think about whether the Sim Broadcast podcast can be a thing at some point, but I think it's good to do it sporadically. Like we have here.
But yeah, why not? It's like a bit of chill time. That's it.
Thanks, guys. That's everything. That concludes the Easter egg at the end of our stream today. Hopefully this increases the number of people who stay all the way till the end of our broadcasts. Who knows? Yeah. We'll have to chop this into a separate segment and put it on the forum somewhere for other people to enjoy. Thanks a lot. Have a great time. See you on Sunday if you're around for the TBO challenge. From all of us here.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.